Welcome to Rick's Corner. I finally have a female bodybuilder on who's very, very smart, very well built, knows her stuff, and has won some major, major titles. And she decided to come in and share some time with me for you, because a lot of you women write in and you want to know what to do to better yourself, and you don't know what to do, and you can't always do a man's routine, although a man's routine does work at times. And so it's my pleasure to have Ursula Alberto here. And Thank you for being here. You look very nice with your hair down like this.
Different from the gym, right?
Mine too.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I just can't go like this everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Good hair day, right?
Today's a good hair day. All right, I want to ask you, I have several questions, but what prompted you in your life to go into bodybuilding?
I would say it was my ex-husband.
Okay.
Because he was already in the business. He was already competing.
I know who he is, by the way.
Yeah.
Very, very nice looking guy with a very fantastic body.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it, that's the guy to do it with.
Right. Aesthetically, he had the symmetry for sure.
Totally.
But yeah, he was the one that encouraged me to do it. I didn't think I had the physique for it, but he saw that I did have the physique, so it was really him that influenced me.
How did he train you?
Oh wow, he was a tough trainer.
Was he?
Yes. There was. Whenever we would be training and I would want to give up, or I was like, oh, it hurts, you know, I don't want to do this, he'd say, it's all in the mind. You know, you have to put your mind somewhere else and push through it. And that is how I've learned to train, and how I've always learned to train. That right when you start to feel the pain, or you start what people think is pain, but it's really just tightness in the muscle, you want to keep pushing a little bit, you know, like 3 to 5 sets past that. But a lot of people stop before they get, you know, right when they feel it, they're like, I'm done. And he would tell me that it's all in your mind. You can go, your mind will push you further than your body.
I have a saying about that. It's mind over matter.
Yes.
And if you really don't mind, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, there's a theory on that, because I agree with you a lot.
Yeah.
But then there's also overtraining.
Yes, there is.
How do you know the fine line between going past the burn or stopping then and not overtraining or undertraining? Where do you draw the line?
You know, I think I just really go by the amount of time I'm in the gym. You know, I don't really go by, okay, how far do I go? Because you can only go so far before you're like, even when you push as hard as you can, you're going to stop.
Yeah.
But I think it's the amount of time you spend in the gym. Some people are in there for 2-3 hours,
Oh,
which
I know.
is ridiculous.
I know.
You know, your body is going to shut down. You don't need that much time. Hour max in the gym.
I agree.
And you can get everything done.
How many people have you seen in the gym over the years that spend hours there, come back hours later, they're on the treadmill, and they haven't changed over the years?
One bit, all the time.
All the time?
All the time.
They're not doing their homework, number one.
Right.
Which is eating.
Their diet, yes.
The diet's terrible.
Yes.
When you were training like this, how'd you split your body parts up?
I changed it all the time. I usually did like the typical, you know, biceps, back and biceps, you know, chest and triceps. That's how I started off doing it, but the way I train now is a lot different than the way I trained back then.
Why is that?
Well, I've established a lot of the muscle now. I don't really need to get any bigger and separate my muscles, so I want to do more of a circuit, so I train my whole body at once.
Oh, really? That's a lot to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of body parts.
That's a lot to do. And how many sets per body part?
I usually do like 2 sets per body part. I don't really, my upper body I don't really touch as much as I do my lower body.
Yeah.
I do my lower body a lot more.
Why is that? Is that a woman thing?
It's a woman thing, and I also think it's my body thing.
Yeah.
You know, I put muscle on my upper body really fast, and my lower body, genetically, in my family, nobody has really big legs. We genetically have really small legs, so I have to work really hard to build and to maintain it.
Okay. Is this twice a week on each body part?
Yeah, I would say my legs is more. I probably train my legs every day.
Really?
I do. Yeah, but I don't train every day. Every day that I train, I train my legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's different theories on that.
Yeah,
and I've brought this up before, back when I started training in 1891. When they didn't have gyms, we just had cement and bars. No, the old school guys like Steve Reeves would train 3 times a week. They had the broad shoulders and the skinny waist, and their theory was 3 times a week.
Yes.
And their diets were a lot of milk and cream and stuff like that. And they would do 3 sets per body part, a whole body, every day they trained 3 times a week, and then days off in between. One of the reasons was, and a lot of people never knew this, was the gym was only open 3 days a week.
Right. So they don't have a choice.
But you know why?
Why?
You really want to know?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you why. Here we go again.
Yes.
Men's day was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Women's Day was Tuesday and Thursday and possibly Saturday. They didn't train the men and women together.
You're kidding.
Nope. They didn't want to mingle the females and the males in the gym. They thought it was distracting, and the women wouldn't like to be seen in their workout clothes. Somebody just took my car. It's running better than it was earlier. Okay, so they would mix it up like that, and it got to be a habit. You train Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Right.
Then eventually they started incorporating the gyms like Universal Health Spa and Jack LaLanne's, and they made open to people every day. But they would have a women's section and a men's section. It's really, really kind of strange.
Yeah.
I worked at the gym like that, and I worked on ladies' days to help out, and there was always one straggler about 10 at night. Rick, yeah, could you bring me a towel, please? I'm in the shower. Be right there.
Love this job.
Oh man! So I know then I was training 3 days a week, and I was curling the 65-pound dumbbells, which I never do now, and I made good progress because you had that day off every other day.
Right.
And so when it gets down to it, your rest periods are very important.
They are very important. They are. I train my legs. I know a lot of people are against that.
Yeah.
I train my legs every day, but I don't train a lot of sets. So say I'm doing upper body, I'll do at least one set of legs. I'll just throw it in.
Yeah.
But since I've been training like that, I've noticed a big difference in the way my legs are. They're a lot more defined.
Yeah.
They're still growing.
Yeah.
And it just works for me.
I saw you doing something in the gym where you were squatting on one leg and you were holding the cable with a handle and squatting from here to there and squatting in position.
Yeah.
I envy that. And the reason I envy it is because it looks like it really works, and I have a really bad knee and I can't do it. And I was thinking to myself, boy, I hope she doesn't have bad knees one day, because it looked hard.
Yeah. A lot of the things I do, I isolate the muscle. I do a lot of one-legged.
Yeah.
I have been fortunate. I have never had an injury except for I pulled my calf last summer.
How'd that happen?
I tore my calf. How did it happen? I was doing single leg box jumps and I was dehydrated.
Oh boy.
And when I came down on my one leg, on my calf, I felt it.
Oh, explain something to me while we're on that subject. When you're dehydrated, how do you know? Because it's a big factor.
Right, because you're not thirsty. So it's really hard to detect that you are dehydrated. You know what it is? I wasn't thirsty, but my mouth was dry. I knew I wasn't drinking enough water, but it was a busy time where I was doing a lot, and I just had so much going on. I always bring water, but I would drink my water, and I would go from place to place, and I didn't have time to just stop. Yeah. And I knew that I was dehydrated because I knew how much I was working out, and I knew that I wasn't replenishing myself. Right. So I already knew, but I just kept going. That's what we do. That's how we end up getting injured.
Well, were there other symptoms as well?
No, there wasn't. That's why it's tricky. That's why a lot of people are dehydrated.
I think so.
And they don't even know it, and they're walking around. Yeah.
My mom lived till 97. I used to tell her kidneys dehydrated. I said, you need to drink water. I do. I drink a glass a day. I said, Mom, it's a lot more than that. Come on, that's a thimbleful. You've really got to put it down. And I'd buy her a bottle, and she'd carry it all day and never touch it.
Yeah, my mom's the same way. She doesn't drink any water.
No, I don't know.
And
she never go to the bathroom. I thought she was a camel. How do you hold all that for weeks at a time?
Weeks at a time. Well, that's my mom's reason for not drinking water. She says, but then I'll go to the bathroom.
I heard the same thing.
And I'm like,
same thing. She said, well, if I drink it, I'll have to go to the bathroom too much. I said, you don't like touching yourself? Is that what it is? It's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so you're training back then, and you were competing. And what were your titles?
My biggest title was Miss Galaxy in '94.
Okay.
So that was 100 girls from all over. It was in Florida, and we had back then we had an obstacle course, so we had to do our bikini round. We did an obstacle course, and we had an evening gown.
Well, that's a lot to it.
Yeah, so I liked it better because they took the overall scores of each, and so it wasn't so political because. It depends, if you ran the obstacle course and you came in first, they can't, there's nothing.
They can't dispute that at all, no.
They can't. And it was a lot more fair back then, I felt. But they didn't have a lot of those. They had maybe one or two of those, and then they stopped them.
How many did you actually compete in? And for titles?
Total, I've done about 4 or 5 shows. Not a lot.
And your husband at the time had a
He
list.
did oh my gosh.
A list upon list upon list upon list.
And that's part of the reason why I didn't compete a lot, because you cannot have two people competing at the same time. At least for us, it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, it's two people, you know, moody and, you know, low carbs.
Sure.
And it just wasn't working.
Sure.
So I was really there to support him.
Your diet at the time was what?
The basic high protein, moderate carbs, and low fat.
Any particular source of protein you like?
Chicken.
Yeah,
I still do. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I never get tired of chicken. I don't know why. I don't know why. You know, you would think after so many years you would just be, I don't want any more chicken, but I never get tired of it.
Well, back when I was living in Santa Monica and training with the guys, Arnold and those guys on the beach, I would barbecue 2 big ground sirloin patties every night.
Uh-huh.
With cheese and cottage cheese and a salad, and I ate that every night.
Yeah.
And I would crave it after a while. I wanted it.
Yeah.
Chicken wasn't that big a deal with me, maybe lunch, and now, and since the past several years that I was out here, I used to go to El Pollo Loco every day and get the chicken breast. And even my daughter says, do you still like it? I said, no, I have to wash it down. It gets,
really?
when as I chew it, it grows in my mouth and it gets feathers back and I have to wash it down. I'm so disgusted by chicken.
Really?
So I switched to fish. And
Yeah.
I go to Sharky's and I get salmon, which actually isn't bad.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm kind of tired of it.
Yeah, really.
You know, and then if you go to In-N-Out and get a cheeseburger, I'm totally happy.
Cheeseburger, of course.
I rationalize it. You've got 2 meat patties, and you've got cheese, which is protein. You've got a tomato, which is a veggie, and you have lettuce. And so you have
and then your carbs.
6 grams on a bun. How bad can that be?
That's a good way to look at it.
And it's a 4x4, 4 patties, 4 cheese.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Now everybody out there is going to go out and
Yeah,
get cheeseburger.
I mean, come on. It's think about it. It's nutritious. The bread, yes. So someone said to me,
the bread.
you can get it with a lettuce wrap, right?
Yes, the protein.
I got that, and I picked it up, and I bit down, and the meat shot right out of the lettuce, and I'm stuck with lettuce in my hand. That was it.
Right.
No, it's too hard to eat.
Yeah.
Nowadays, are you going to compete anymore?
No, I'm done.
Why?
It's really expensive now. It really is.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, custom suits are about $1,000. You know, to have somebody do your diet, which I know how to diet, but we always like to have somebody else do it because I'm not a good judge of myself. I will overtrain, over diet, over everything because I'm a perfectionist. So I have to have somebody overlook it. And these people are charging outrageous money now. You know, $1,200 to get you ready for a show. And by the time you pay for your shoot, someone to do your diet, tanning, food, it's just too much.
Yeah, spray tan, right?
Spray tan, yeah.
I've never used that, ever. Are you getting sick?
No.
Should I be nervous or anything?
No.
Are you training people now?
Yeah.
Do you keep busy?
Yes.
How many clients do you have now?
I have more online clients than I do one-on-ones.
How does that online work for you? Good?
Yeah. There's something in my
I do this to people. I just had an hourly check, so I know it's not me.
Okay, now.
Okay.
I don't know, my throat is dry.
Yeah, you're probably dehydrated.
You're probably right. Okay, what was the question?
Well, online, how do you train them? I mean, if you don't see them.
Okay, so they have to send me a photo, front, back, and side.
Okay, makes sense.
And then I do their diet, depending on their age, their height, and their weight.
Okay.
And then I have to monitor them. So basically, I put them on a diet, and then I get pictures every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Same pictures, front, side, back. And then I look at them, and that's how I determine whether I have to lower their carbs, higher protein. I do their training, so they have to know how to do the basic workouts.
Right.
Usually everybody that comes to me has already worked out for years, so they just want to get better, or they want to lose weight, they were, gained weight back. And then I just monitor it by looking. Pictures don't lie. So I can look at the photos, and then I can tell if they are losing weight, if they're not losing weight, where they're losing weight. And then communication, I ask them, how much cardio did you do? What did you do for cardio? How long was it? What are your meals? How many times you're eating, but like what time are you eating?
Right.
That's so important. I have to make sure that they're eating every couple hours. We text back and forth, so I get texts a lot throughout the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll text them and I'll say, how's throughout the day. They need that attention because you're not with them, so they actually get more attention because.
Sure, I can see that.
Yeah. So I'm throughout the day. There's some people that you could just give the diet to. You don't hear from them for the end of the week. There's other people all day long you're getting texts.
Yeah.
But once they get going and they feel confident and they know what they're doing, then the texts get less and less.
Right. But they have to do their homework and be able to eat by themselves and eat right.
They have to be motivated.
Be motivated,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, you can't do it unless you're self-motivated.
Right.
But sometimes people are motivated, they just need structure.
Right.
They need something to follow, and if they have a guideline, they're fine. And those are the people that I usually get. They're self-motivated.
But you see these people that are so obese. I talked to a couple of girls at Starbucks that are overweight, and they said, well, I like food and I just can't control myself. Well, that's an emotional thing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And
for sure.
I always sit and talk to them. They're really nice people, and no one looks at them or talks to them because they're really heavy. And I like to talk to them, and I like to try to motivate them to just drop one thing out this week and drop another thing this week, and stay away from white stuff like white flour and white sugar and white rice and that, and just a little. You can't do it all at once. I had a friend that's quit drinking sodas, and off that he lost 50 pounds.
Oh, I believe it. Sodas are really bad for people.
And then I had a friend go to lunch with me, and he doesn't even diet at all. He ate meatloaf and this mashed potatoes and gravy and blah blah. And I had a chicken breast and cottage cheese, and I had an iced tea. And so I wanted to get the iced tea. I put some sweet Splenda in it.
Yeah.
He put sugar. And I always tell the story a lot. And I said to him, "You want to lose weight? Why did you pick that sugar?" He says, "Well, I don't know." I said, "It's just as easy to take the little pink packet than a white one." He says, "No, it's hard." What's hard? Make a decision?
Yeah.
Just pick it and use it. You're better off.
Yeah.
So it is chemical. So what? Somebody asked me today, what about preservatives? And my theory is, you guys are going to laugh at me, I eat as many preservatives as I can.
Yeah.
Because look what it does with the jelly on the shelf. It lasts 2 years.
I know.
So if I eat a lot of preservatives, I'll last forever. Right?
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to prolong my life because I know what day will come that you're not here anymore, but at that day when it hits me, I don't want to be there.
Right.
I'll be somewhere else. So you're training now for yourself to stay in shape.
Yes, always.
What advice would you give to women out there who, let's say that 20-year-olds, that's a different story. 34 years old, they've been married, they had kids, they want to get back in shape, look good for themselves and for their husbands. What do you tell them to do to get started on that?
Consistency. That is key.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, whether you go to the gym or you're doing something outside, you have to find something that you like to do. If you find something you like to do, you're going to stick with it. Don't go to the gym if you hate going to the gym.
Right.
There's so many sports, there's so many things to do nowadays. You just have to find that one thing. Once you find that one thing, stick with it and don't stop.
It could be anything.
Anything. And there's things you can do in the house now. You don't even need a gym. I do all kinds of workouts without weights. I could go in my backyard and start working out.
You're making me laugh.
You know
why?
Why?
Because I used to mow my own lawn until I hurt my leg. And I used to run with the mower. I'd run this way and this way and this way and this way and up and down over here. And after about 30, 40 minutes, I was breathing pretty hard, full of dust, and grass clippings and all that. But it was I kind of did it. I made a fun thing out of it.
Right.
I wouldn't do it now. That's why that guy's out there making noise with the blower. But there's ways to do things. The bands that you can get.
Yes.
Well, when I was on the road wrestling and I wasn't able to get to a gym, I had the bands with me.
That's right.
And I'd get to the hotel room at night and I'd hook it to the door and hook it here. I spent about 30 minutes working different body parts, trying to find angles to work the pecs and the biceps. Yeah. And it kept me in good shape just with the bands.
Yes. But diet is what's essential.
Yes.
Because I have gone through periods where I haven't worked out at all, but my diet is always good.
Right.
And I don't gain a pound. It's 80% diet, 20% training.
True. And even if you're working all day or if you're on the road like I was, say, well, it's all fast food. You know what? Fast food is geared now towards people who stay in shape. You can go to Carl's Jr. and get a grilled chicken breast.
Yes.
And they have a salad bar.
I know.
Or you
it's it's choices.
It's choices, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people just have every excuse for every reason why they don't want to do it.
Another thing that bugs me, people say, let's go get yogurts. It's fat-free.
Oh, and then they put all the cookies on there.
I don't want fat-free. I want sugar-free.
Sugar-free, yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because fat-free doesn't matter to me. I want the fats. I'm going to burn them up. The sugar's going to lay in my belly.
Right. That's right. And and now the yogurts, have you been to the yogurt places now with all they have cookies and hot chocolate sauce
and M&Ms and
by the time I go there with me and my kids, I said we should have just went and get an ice cream, a real ice cream.
Exactly right.
You have so much stuff on there, I can't even see the yogurt.
Yeah, the yogurt means nothing. I'll take a regular chocolate chip or mint chip from
Rite
Aid.
Right.
Let's
just go get a candy bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. People are now loading up, and then everything is so ginormous.
Yeah.
they don't have to have all that food. You know, it's ridiculous. So we really are overeating, and we're not making good food choices.
I found years ago that, I used to eat quite a bit, and now I split a dessert, and I get a couple of bites of something, and that tastes pretty good. I'm done.
Yeah.
Don't have to eat the whole thing and blow myself out over that.
Yeah. A lot of times it's just getting that little bit of the satisfaction, and that's all you need.
Pretty much that's all you need, yeah. So now you're training for yourself, you're training some people, and you've got a clothing line you're working on.
Yes.
And when do you plan on having that launched?
That'll probably be launched after the new year.
Okay.
Yes.
And where can we find you on the internet if they want to write to you and talk to you? Or
yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Ursula Alberto. I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook under Ursula Alberto. Okay. And I have a website, ursulaalberto.com. Everything's Ursula Alberto, so you can't get it wrong.
It's easily enough. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, just, if
you were going to give somebody a tip of the week or a tip of the day, go ahead.
Yeah, the tip of the day, I would say for women, women, they don't take enough time out for themselves these days. We're multitaskers, we're having children, we're working now, and you get caught up in the life of your family, your work, and everything, that you aren't taking enough time for yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a lot more women in the gym now. It is a lot of women, and we just have to give to yourself and not feel guilty about it, because sometimes women, I hear a lot that they feel bad that they're leaving their kids at home, their husband at home, and they're going to work out. You will be a better mom, you will be a better person if you spend that time on yourself.
Because you feel better about yourself.
You feel better about yourself, you'll have more energy to give back to everybody else.
I agree.
It's just a win-win situation. So that's what I would say to women.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's very important. You want to feel good about yourself before
and not feel guilty about it. You shouldn't feel guilty about taking care of yourself.
I feel guilty about everything. I was born guilty, but then I'm not a woman today. Well, I want to thank you for being here. This is fun.
Thank you for having me.
And I'd like to have you back again if you have some things you want to share when you have your new clothing line out. Maybe you can bring some samples and show it and tell them where to get it.
Yes.
And we'll push that a little bit too.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, you can go home now and drink some water so you won't
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for watching Rick's Corner, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned for more.
It's rickdrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.